and there is a denial about it that is not genuine. But no matter it is, what we're told is that due to exchange rate that is taking place currently in the country, because don't forget that there is a policy of unification of currency, and they made us to understand that they has really affected their own source of income, what have you. But let's hope, but there is no way you expect inflation from one side of the country and it will not spread across any sectors. So I believe we should not just fold our arms. They deny that it's not true, but maybe they are testing the waters to see the reaction of the people.
Absolutely. Talking about testing the waters. In the last 8 years or thereabouts, we've seen about 168% increase in tariff, especially for electricity. Do you think Nigeria are actually ready to pay more, given the fact that already they are actually facing some pains right now following the removal of subsidy and, of course, exchange rate unification?
And to be sincere with you, Nigerians are not ready to pay more. Because it's not even about increasing the tariff. What about the stability of the electricity? Are they getting value for what they are paying for? That's number one. Number two, we all knew what is happening currently in the country on fuel subsidy. People are already crying. People are already shouting, and we must listen to the yearning of the people. That's very important. That's what they call governance. Governance is about listening to your people and try to see how you can bring something that will not make them to be overreacted, because we are all human. So we don't expect it to happen. But nevertheless, if it do happen, I've said it time without number that federal government should quickly see how to subsidize that sector as a matter of urgency. The federal government need to subsidize the power sector. I don't know how they are going to do it. Either they are going to bring more of renewable energies, either they are going to look for alternative way, or they are going to reduce or do something about electricity generation. Because if these go high as well with the fuel subsidy issue, man, we need to tell the federal government that is not the best way to go. We just advise they should keep talking to these people. If I thought they have the motive or they did not have the motive, let them get in touch with these people, because I will not deceive you, Nigerians are complaining.
Indeed, Nigerians are complaining. They are not smiling at all. Yeah. Things are indeed not really rosy for Nigeria right now. But again, there is a saying, a report here that over 100 countries around the world pay, offer cheaper electricity than Nigeria. In other words, they are actually paying less. Is it that we are not taking advantage of the infrastructure we have to generate electricity?
That's the truth. We have a deficit on infrastructure when it comes to electricity as far as Nigeria is concerned. And majority of the environment that there is what they call monumental development. That's the reality. We check majority of our city. We're talking about Lagos, you're talking about Port Harcourt, you're talking about Abuja. You will discover that it's not the same geographical location you used to know that we are in currently. People are now started moving from urban area to the rural area, to the extent that more real estate people are building, open up some areas that we don't even think that there's going to be development there. It's a good thing. But the problem we have in this country is that we don't plan for growth. We just find ourselves in a growing environment where all of a sudden we don't increase the capacity of the amount of the megawatt that we are generating. The transformer they are using in those areas are not being upgraded, or more are not being supplied, so that they can fit into the reality of the day. So as we are expecting more growth in our society, we're supposed to be growing in infrastructure, in electricity. So there's a deficit of infrastructure, no doubt about that. And the best way to go now is to start talking about renewable energy. That's true, because if we don't talk about it, and thank God that the federal government have signed dissolution of electricity into law, in the extent that state can generate their own electricity, private citizens can generate their electricity, community can generate their electricity. So the bottleneck has been removed. But nevertheless, as long as the bottleneck just removed, that does not mean the implementation will start happening overnight.
Dr. Larry, the president did say yesterday in Ogun State that, of course, he's told Nigerian again, as usual, to be patient, to make some sacrifices. That a baby step that has been taken is only, the pain will only last for a while. That in no time things will normalize. What do you make of that statement? The baby step so far, Nigerians are already crying. Yeah,
to be realistic, we knew that the decision that Mr. President made, everybody acknowledged that it's the best decision for the economy of this country. No doubt about it. Even the oppositions, even the critics of Mr. President, they agree with him on that note. But where the less privileged people are talking about is that, nice, you made this decision, but what about the impact on the low affluent people? Because let's be realistic, the elite in our society, majority of them, if I thought they are buying petrol, if I thought they are paying for electricity, they don't feel it. That's the truth. Because the gap between the rich and the poor in this country is too large. So the rich are the one, and the poor are the one facing the brunt. Now, they are not against the policy, but they're only saying that give us something that we can rely on for the meantime, so that we will not just be living on hope. Hope without substance on the table, it will return to failure at the end of the day. So my advice to the federal government is that as soon as possible, we agree that we are going to face a sacrifice, but please don't allow the sacrifice to be too much to the extent that people will not be able to bear it. Because I must sincere with you, I receive a call now and then, even from relatives and family, complaining every day that now we are trekking to work. Students are trekking to work. That's the truth. Trekking to school. They were even telling me as of yesterday that even the assembly that they used to start by 8 a.m. in the morning, they have to shift it to 9 o'clock because the students will not even get to the assembly by 8.
Absolutely. Wow.
So these are the things that the federal government and the people in charge of all this we need to start looking at how is it affecting our people at the grassroots. So we are not talking that the policy is bad. Thank you for that policy. Everybody know it will open up economy of Nigeria, good.
Absolutely.
But our people must not die before the success comes.
Absolutely. I must thank you, Dr. Larry Oluwaniyi, very passionate, a lover of Nigeria, of the masses, always passionate whenever he's talking about issues concerning Nigerians. I must thank you for your time on Business Daily today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, with that is a wrap on the show today. Join us again on Monday for a fresh edition. I am Yusuf Akogu.